Okay, so basically we have Kykar the Wind's Fury. So for those of you who don't know the commander, it's basically a Spellslinger commander. So Kykar is a bird wizard. He casts for 1 blue, red, and white. So what's the color combination called again? Not Maru. Jeskai, right, Jeskai. He's 3/3 flying, which is totally irrelevant. What is relevant is that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. And whenever you sacrifice a spirit, you get a red mana, or you can sacrifice a spirit to generate a red mana. Now, I want this deck to be a focus deck, and I can just close this, that uses the value gained by playing spells to win the game. To make the deck more consistent, it either goes off or just sits there. So these were his initial thoughts. I already had a quick talk with him, so he just said something for how much should the upgrades cost, so maximum of $40 US. Since he's sitting in the US, he has to bet draw on the card prices since cards are much cheaper in Europe. So first of all, I suggested him to cut some cards for lands because at the moment he's just running 32 lands with quite an expensive spell suit, so that probably won't work out and might be one of the reasons why he sometimes goes off and sometimes just sits there. And yeah, also I also recommended him to swap out Prismatic Lens for an Assyria Signet, so basically just a small Mana Stone upgrade. And then I asked him how he actually plans to win this game because his deck doesn't really have a win con. So, what did he say? I have Approach of the Second Sun, mid-6 Mastery, and just burning my opponent to death. The thing with Lens is that I have a bunch of double-faced cards. Okay. Maybe I just didn't see the double-faced cards. So we'll have a look at those. Now, first of all, we want to copy this. Copy to clipboard, and then we'll go to Architect to import this one. So, architect.com. We'll create a new deck. This one is Bird Wizard Guy, not Derevi. And we have a format that is Commander EDH. And let's create a deck. And let's import our deck list. And let's see what we'll find. Cards not found. Gutter Snipe and Sulfur Falls. Okay, so we'll just add them manually. Gutter Snipe. Sulfur. Sulfur Falls. There we are. Now, first of all, our commander, so we lose all of these red annoyance. Kykar Wind's Fury. There he is. Or she? Is Kykar actually a she or a she? Kykar Wind's Fury gender. That's a question apparently a lot of people are asking. Male, he, him. Okay. So now let's have a look. We have our lands, 32, and he claimed he would have a bunch of double-faced lands. So this one is nothing that I would count as a double-faced land, but this one is, this one is, this one is, and this one is. Okay, perfect. So he's on 36 lands. So that's just fine. So we can ignore the land approach. Now let's have a look over his spells that he's actually playing. And basically we will sort them for now. Let's first have a look over the land. So we have a command tower, an island, the disruption, another tapped land, Moorland Haunt, creates spirit tokens, which is fine for this deck. Yeah, Reliquary Tower, just a bunch of okay lands. So we won't do much on the land base, I reckon. Maybe adjust the colors a bit. But I reckon we won't have the budget to really put an impactful lands here. Since our budget is only $40. So let's look for the other spells. So what will we have here? We have removal. So first let's get rid of the removal spells. And we also have on cast trigger. Cast trigger. So we have cast trigger spells, which is this one. It just deals 1 damage to every opponent. If you play something, then we have the Junk Pyromancer, which creates elementals when you play something. We'll have the Kill an Artist, which is creating treasure tokens whenever we play something. We have this one with the Enter the Battlefield trigger, so let's just make this one Spirit support or token support. Now we have this one who creates tokens. We have the Mentor of the Meek, which draws cards if you have the tokens. And we have this one, which is just... I'll call him card draw. He doesn't really draw cards, but he lets you play the top card of your deck if it's an instant or a sorcery, which is a third of his deck. So he can play a third of his deck from the top of his deck. Now we have the Gutter Snipe. Every time you play a spell, he deals 2 damage to each opponent. We have the Goblin Electromancer, which is cost reduction. And now we have another one who triggers on spells. We have Zitzi who triggers on spells, and we have... So what does he do? Whenever he attacks, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may cast an instant spell or a mana value less or equal to bottommost power from among them without paying its mana cost. Okay, so this one is basically card draw. Not really, but again, I'll just leave it there. Now then we have removal. Teach by example. When you cast the next instant or sorcery spell, copy that spell. Okay, so this one is just a copy. Maybe not the best. I mean, the mana costs are quite forgiving on this one. Let's just make 1 copy here. Whatever this one is. Let's just put this to Kaldenheim. Nope. This one is instant out. You don't pay 2 mana to get a token and... No. Great, we found our first thing to cut. Now we have Opt next, and I think Opt will also go out, and we will find a better card for Opt. We have counter spells, and my tea is still too hot. Counter spells. Oh, I don't have any more water here. Give me a second, I'll just grab another bottle of water. Aber ich muss da auch wegtappen, also nein. So here I am, and I already scared away all of the Hearthstone Rios. Great. So let's continue here. Nascent Reversal is also a copy spell. Next up we have Lofty Denial, which is a counters. Okay, let's just sort them for now. We'll get rid of most of them later. So Lightning Helix is not going to do it. Probably Lightning Bolt. Yeah, that could do it. Why can't I have the German cards? God's Willing. Yes, Protection. So I count this as a counter spell because this is probably what it's most often being used for. Target creature gains protection from the color of your choice until... Okay, and Reborn. Okay. Dual Strike. Next instant or sorcery spell. You can copy it. This one is just a bad copy. Okay. Next up we have another counter spell. And this one counter spell. Not... Yeah, this one is just not going to do it. Next up we have another counter spell. Next up we have another counter spell. Okay, we have a lot of counter spells here. Okay, next up we have another removal spell. Then we have Cantrip, which is not good, since he doesn't have any ability to shuffle his library, and I didn't see any cards that care for the top of his library till now. So, yeah. Now, I'll count this one as a counter spell because it will most likely be used for indestructibility. And another counter spell, so he has a lot of protection for his creature already. Now let's see for the... okay, so this one is a win con. We will also have Windfall, which is a draw spell. We have Transmogrify, exile target creature. The creature's controller reveals cards on top. So we're at sorcery speed. You exile a creature and reveal cards from top until you reveal a creature card and put that creature into play. So now his most expensive creature in the entire deck is 4 mana. And he will pay 4 mana and a ghost token for this effect on his own card. Now he could use it on an enemy's card, but yeah, I don't see this one. Treacherous Greed. Gain control of target creature. Untap that creature. Yeah, not see this one. He doesn't have any sack outlets. Search your library, put it in your hand and reshuffle it. So this one is just a tutor for 3. Not sure if I like this. So here we have another cantrip, which is fine-ish in this case. It's really the worst of the bunch, so we'll put this one out. He'd rather play Ponder or... Oh no, well, Preordain is not the worst of the bunch. Forget what I just said. So we just put this 2. Maybe draw, it's really more of a filter. So this one is a Wincon.
Sweetheart?
Ja? Was kann ich für dich tun, Süße? Oh, du machst erstmal ein bisschen was Chaos, ja? Kann ich verstehen.
I have to the Dings da offen.
You have to the Dings da offen. You have to the Dings da offen, ja?
Machst du selber zu wegen deinem Husten?
Ja,
gedacht, ich mach's
danke.
Für dich. Brauchst du sonst noch was? Kann ich hier irgendwas Schönes machen?
Alles gut, mir geht's gut. Geht's gut.
Okay.
Now, what else do we have? We have Jeska's Will. Choose one. If you control a commander, cast a spell, you may choose boost. Okay, so this is a little mana ritual, and you can also... Okay, little card draw. Okay, so this is... I don't see this as consistent enough. Destroy target creature can be regenerated, and again... Okay, so this one is against another Transmogrify, but... You just don't have any expensive creatures, so this one is out. Now, what do we have? We have this one as protection. Wait, so this one is life protection. Basically protection from being overrun. So I don't see a single board weapon here, which is quite sad, seeing that he plays white. So now this one is card draw. This one is cost reduction. Where do we have the cost reduction? There we have it. Now we have another life protection, and we have another removal spell, which is not going to make it for 2 mana in blue and being an aura that can easily be removed. Okay, now let's have a look at the Planeswalkers. This one again is a cast trigger and generates token, and the Jace Mirror Mage. I think this is the one that gets copies the more you kick it, right? So, Kykar 2. When Jade's Mirror Mage enters the battlefield, if was kicked, does Copen, yeah, it scries 2 or you draw a card. This has no synergy at all with the deck. You don't care about the top of your deck. No. Just no. Just no. So let's take him out. Now, let's go on. What else do we have? We have Twinning Stuff. If you would copy a spell 1 or more times, instead copy it that many times plus an additional time, you may choose new targets for the copy. So, we have 3 copy spells at the moment. What else can it do? Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. So the most expensive spell he's playing is 4 mana. Not counting Approach of the Second Sun, still... yeah, this one won't work. The most expensive spell is 4 mana. Do you regularly want to pay 7 mana to copy that spell? No, you don't. Now we have a Talisman of Conviction, Sunforger, which I guess is fine-ish. Yeah, it can... I mean, it can make your command... Oh yeah, Sunforger is nice since it allows your command to kill in 3 strikes. And yeah, it also tutors out a bunch of stuff, so we'll leave this one in. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, so we'll put this one to tutor. Just let me sort these cards too. This one is ramp. Ramp. And I like that he actually ramps in turn 2. So he can play Kykar on turn 3. Yeah, we want to take Prismatic Lens out. Mind Stone is fine-ish. Okay, so we also have Chaos Wand, which is removal that I quite like. Oh no, it's not removal, it's just random chaos. Yeah, so this one is just a fun card. So I'll probably leave it in. But then again, the most expensive sorcery he's playing is 4 mana, and this one is just... needs to play something more expensive for this to be... Okay, so we'll add this to the cut pile. Now we have another thing that makes this stuff cheaper. A category that I made somewhere here. Cost reduction, there it is. So Spellslinger allows him to draw cards. So the first card is 5 mana. Okay, it also ramps him. And it's for 2, so yeah, it's fine. That's fine. Again, let's put this 2 casts in. No, let's leave it here. So we have a Poro Signet, we have an Arcane Signet, and we have an Azov-Crux Reservoir, which is, again, a cast trigger. And basically, this is a Storm deck. I feel it like this deck wants to be a Storm deck. And so we have this one as protection. Protection. Where do we put this? Let's put it to counter spells. It's not really a counter spell, but... Okay, now, this deck is going to create a bunch of tokens. So... what does he... I've never thought Kykar is the best Storm deck. Not the best, but... I'm sorry, no, it's far from the best Storm deck, but it really is a Storm deck. Since whenever you play a spell, you get a red mana, and this allows you to Storm quite efficiently. So he really is a great Storm enabler. If he had black instead of white, he would be hands down the best Storm commander in there that there is. You can use it for polymorph junk, that's totally true, but yeah, that's not the case in this deck. So there is some polymorph junk going on here, but the polymorph junk going on is really bad since he has no expensive creatures. Now, okay, I think I'm fine with the current changes. So let's take Lightning Helix out. Mentor of the Meek is fine for me, so he's basically card draw. We have him as a win con. And basically this one is another win con. Flux Reservoir. I don't think that Electrostatic Field actually does enough, since it only deals 1 damage, whereas Scatter Snipe deals 2. And the rest in here actually generates tokens, right? So Sitsi, Briggy is again creating mana. And could be card advantage, so yeah. And this one is adding card draw. Now, let's have a few looks here. So Jeskar's Will. This one is just worse than other rituals he could play. This one is fine. This one is fine-ish. Varian works in this deck. Let's see, Varian. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, he gets, or she gets, I guess gets, +1/+1 until end of turn. If you're casting a copy an instant or sorcery spell, cause a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. That is an interesting idea. I will keep her on a maybe list. Varen. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I didn't thought about this card, since all the magic cards from last year Due to COVID, I bought them all, but I don't really have them in my head now that they actually exist, so to say. This one is also nice for an Itzik of the Mitzmagus deck. This one is really nice. Yeah, like it. Probably gonna add it somewhere. I should have it lying around. It was from this year's Commander decks, right? I think so. I think I saw this creature when playing them, but I haven't. So far, I've only unpicked 2 of the 5, so I still have 3 of them behind me. Okay, now we have Purpose, which is whenever a creature comes into play, which can be through Kykar or just through one of them, it just deals 2 damage to each opponent, which is fine. We have Mystic's Mastery, which allows him to play a lot more spells, which is fine. We have Approach of the Second Sun, which he seems to like, so we'll leave it in as a win con. If you have a lot of mana and you can cast it multiple times each turn, then that's fine. And we have the Adaflux Reservoir, which you can just ping enemies for 50 with, so this one is also fine. Now, we have a couple of mana stones, so what we want to add here is a Signet, and that is the Burrow Signet, right? Yeah, no, the Azurius Signet. Azurios Signet. Azuri. Signet. There we have it. So new category, add. And I also think we can remove it. His land base is really not that good. But we won't be able to do much to the land base with our budget. Okay, so we have a. How do we have a deck set of 100? Give me a second. $25, $30, $44, $76, $79, $8, $78, $90, $99. What is missing here? What is missing here? No, that sucks. Oh no, wait, we didn't actually add that much. That's quite fine. We only added 2 cards so far, yeah, so 102 is just the number that we were expecting. Nothing is missing, I'm just tired. Perfect. Now, let's try to keep around what I took out here. So, he seems to want to copy spells. He also wants to draw cards. Just to refresh my memory, let's just have a look at EDH Rex Storm. This should give us a couple of nice cards to keep in mind here. This is also not what is interesting to us. We just want yeah, Dramatic Reversal doesn't play enough. Yeah, Ponder is something that we want to add in Gitaxian Probe as well. And so I hope they are not too expensive. Ponder. Gitaxian Probe. And we probably also want to have Tezzeret. Tezzeret's Gambit, there we go. For a bit of card draw and a bit of cost reduction with Phyrexian mana. So while I would like 3 counter spells, I kinda reckon he won't be able to afford them. I would really like to play a few board wipes for him. I probably... What board wipes do we give him? What board wipes indeed? What board wipes do we give him? I mean, probably just the most flexible one, since he can mana ramp quite easily. And we could just give him a Chain of Vapor, right? Wait. Oh yeah, you need to sacrifice a land, that's it, right. I just thought, why couldn't you just combo this endlessly? Fire Covenant, again, a card that's played much too rarely. Basically, for 3 mana, you can pay X life, and you can basically shoot your life at whatever you want. So you can deal 1 damage to that creature, 2 damage to that creature, and so on, as long as you pay the life. So that's quite a fun card to, yeah, basically have a life expensive removal. So we want to pass to exile in here. Because he is missing this at the moment, I think. Yes, he is missing this. And maybe also a rapid hybridization that should fit his removal need. Rapid hybridization. So this should be all the need for removal that he has. We also want the cards that say whenever you draw a card, do stuff. Oh, what? I know that I always wanted to buy an intuition. Intuition. It's not even copyrighted. It's not even... Is it on the reserved list? Is this one on the reserved list? Wow, I think the last time I looked at it, it was like 20 euros and I still thought it was too expensive. Should have bought it probably, like the Sliver Queen. What's the Sliver Queen at the moment? I know I bought her for 25 euros and I reckoned that this was quite expensive, and yeah, she got even more expensive. Wow. So that's not really what we are after at the moment though. So we don't have all that much recursion, so Factor of Fiction is not going to do it. How do we make this deck more consistent? How indeed. I think Treasure Cruise can be great. Yeah, Treasure Cruise is too good not to play. Treasure... And I think we will also add a few of the extra turn cards. I mean, I know some people don't like extra turn cards, but... So we are currently at 7 to add. I think extra turn cards really can go a long way here with the copying he wants to do. What else? We want to add a Blasphemous Act here. Since while this kills his tokens also make this quite cheap to play. And basically he can play this for red mana, then sacrifice all his tokens for red mana, and then still have a lot of to play after the board wipe. And I think this is a fine board wipe for him. Codex Shredder, another undervalued card that is played way not often enough, but it's not good for this deck. But for other decks, in case you are building, target player mills a card for tap. So basically this card reads, as long as this card is in play, any tutors that tutor someone something to the top of his deck are useless. So Worldly Tutor, Mystic Tutor, and so on, all worthless because once they tutor something to the top of their deck, you just mill that card for them. And also, if that's not the case, you can just tap it for 5 and return any target card from your graveyard to your hand, so not permanent, not on a whatever you want to. And this one can also do some nice endless combos with the whatever the artifact is called that can get back a 1 mana artifact from your graveyard for just tapping. Yeah, so well, that's not what we are looking at the moment. What else do we want to add? What can we do to make the deck more consistent? That is not too expensive. Oh, we want to have a Skull Clamp. How is he not playing a Skull Clamp? How did I not think about it? How did I not think about a Skull Clamp when the commander says create a 1/1 white spirit token? How did I not think at Skull? How? How did I not instantly say Skull Clamp? Oh, we also want to add a Fell Stone, I guess. Just to have another 2 mana rock. How did I not instantly think Skull Clamp? Now we could add another Wayfarer's Bauble for just some other nice mana ramp. Unfortunately, another Magic YouTuber just promoted this card into hell, so it got really expensive for being a really dirt cheap card. And maybe I should get rid of mine. Now that there are... What I had at the moment actually? Bauble. Wayfarer's Bauble. Okay, so no, it's not really that expensive, but it is. Yeah, you can get them for €1, around €1. Will probably get reprinted soonish. Now, let's see him as a commander. What else is having a high synergy with him? Oh yeah, right, we could add a talismans here to give him more ramp. But I'm not sure if the ramp is really what is needed. Anointed Possession is probably too expensive. We'll add it as a maybe. And we'll also add Anointed Possession. So we'll add this one as a maybe, and we'll also add a Cutter's Crusade as a maybe. So we'll add these cards as a maybe, since they seem to be quite expensive, especially the Anointed Possession. So Anointed Possession just doubles tokens, and Cutter's Crusade says whenever anything enters the battlefield, each of your creatures gain +1/+1. So as you can imagine, if you produce 4 1/1 white spirit tokens, and each of them gets +4/+4. Okay, no, not really. So one of them would get +1/+1, another +2/+2, another +3/+3, another +4/+4, but you get the idea. And your commander would be +4/+4 as well. This is getting quite scary quite fast. Especially if you have multiple of the guys online that create tokens. Now, high synergy cards. Don't like this one. Impact Tremors can be done, but I don't think it will do it. It would be way better than the creature Hirendo, since it's more resistant to removal. So this one would just allow him to filter lands away. So this one can also be quite nice, since he has a lot of flyers. Yeah, let's just get a Jeskai Ascendancy as a maybe here. It would help with the consistency of the deck, since it would allow him to filter a lot better. So we already added the Skull Clamp. Don't know how I missed this. So what else? I would like to add a Cyclonic Rift, but it's too expensive. Actually, what is it? Yeah, too expensive. Now, what else? Underworld Breach. Oh yeah, Underworld Breach is a really nice card. Underworld Breach is a really nice card, and also a card that I think I wanted to add to my buy list. Did I? Did I actually buy Underworld Breach, or did I miss this one? Underworld Breach. Yeah, no, I missed this one. I need to add this to my want list actually. So I just bought all the swords today, so I can just delete my swords want list. Give me a second. Sorry, need to do magic card marked stuff. I really don't have many more ones here. Underworld Breach. Now, what else can we add here? I mean, we could add a Blood Moon if we want everyone else at the table to hate us. Lantex could be fine, but again, too expensive. So I'm not going to make it. Training Grounds, we don't need just one. Could add the Stack Snarset, but actually it's not really helping the deck. Could add Academy Ruins. Oh no, wait, it's Artifact. I just confused this one, so we're not adding this one. So yeah, this one is not going to help us any further. Now, what else might we want to add? Tolerant is a nice idea. Let me just check for his creatures, which he's actually using to create tokens. So this one is 4 mana and creates a 1/1 blue bird, and there's no reason not just to play Tolerant to create Yeah, let's just replace him with Tolerant. Tolerant. Tolerant Sky Summoner. So this one is just better. I mean, you pay an extra blue mana, you play a generic mana less, and you get 2/2 flying drakes instead of 1/1 flying birds. And I guess you still want both of them in. So we'll just leave this guy in. Even if one is better than the other, it's still fine. I'm not really sure if we want to leave Brainstorm in. Is Brainstorm any good in any case? We'll have a look later. Now we have the Murmuring Mystic. Yeah, here's also your Vrayan, Voice of Duality. Oh, there was one fun card in the Jeskai colors. I wonder if we'll find it here. Basically, it said instant and sorcery spells have lifelink. I found this one quite funny and always wanted to build something with it, but didn't get to it so far. Baral is another nice card that we could consider if it's not too expensive. Baral, Chief of Compliance, since it again allows you to play spells cheaper. As you can already see, our maybe category is getting quite expensive, so we will need to cut something there. I mean, Snapcaster is always great to have, but again, not going to make it into this deck. Too expensive. Now, what else do we want to add in our deck here? I don't think we need any X spells, so we already added Treasure Cruise. We could add a Supreme Verdict, but it seems quite expensive, so we'll probably go with a cheaper board wipe that can be countered. Gamble could be an idea, though it is card disadvantage, even though it's a tutor, so probably not since we don't have any recursion. I'm really thinking about something like Echo of Eons. Or just Mystic Retrieval, just to get your stuff back. But yeah, we want a Mana Geyser for sure. So just at reds. Do we actually want it? So how much red spells do we have? How much spells can we play if we don't have any blue mana? Not that many, right? Yeah, I thought so, especially since we are removing a lot of the red stuff. So yeah, it's just... But Ramping Beak is always nice, so we'll just add this one Mana Geyser as a maybe. So for those of you who don't know it, basically you just get a red mana for each tapped land your opponents control. So if you're playing in a 4-man pot, it's easily 12 mana on turn 4 that you get. It's all red, but yeah. All red is the issue, to be honest. Now, maybe we won't add it, since it's all red. And he also doesn't play any other red mana rituals, so we want to add an Austere Command. Austere Command, just as another board wipe. How many cards do we have at the moment? 117 and only have 4. Okay, yeah, that's still fine. But I don't see that any of these really make it more consistent at the moment. Give me a second. Yeah, okay, it's still 10 to 20 euros. I just thought this price just can't be. And it is not, apparently. Okay, so yeah, Ashnod's Altar could be interesting to get 2 mana instead of 1, but I don't really see it's being worth it. Card slot. Yeah, this one could be another nice one. Just as another Storm Enabler. So we'll add this one to a maybe. But really, if you want to play Storm, you really need the blue spells that untap your lands. So I reckon we'll just add a bunch of those, right? I guess. So we'll basically want spells like Frantic Search. Or rather, let's just go to Scryfall. Let's go to the Advanced Search. Let's say our commander is white, blue, and red. And we want cards that claim untap land. Is this one the one that we want? So Cloud of Fairies is not an instant sorcery, so this one is not going to make it. Non-land. Yeah, Frantic Search is the one we want to add, since it untaps 3 lands. Basically, you get Spirit tokens, so you actually make a mana out of it, and you filter your hand. So this is again just non-land. Oh, for 3 mana, untap target artifact, creature, or land. That's true old magic power. Yeah. Gain control. Oh yeah, this is the last word cycle, right? The ones that don't let you untap on your next turn, I remember. I think there should be a few more of those. Oh yeah, Mind Over Matter would be quite nice. I have this card lying around actually. What does it cost at the moment? Mind Over Matter. Did it get any more expensive? Oh, it did. Okay, I bought it for 10 euros and reckoned it quite expensive. I haven't really used this card in ages, come to think of it. When did I use this card last time? I think in the Revi deck. I think it has to be years. So Palinchron, I just ordered this one before it got expensive, but not what we are searching for, as is Pejoran Drake, since they are both not spells. Oh yeah, we want Rewind. Rewind is another quite nice spell, so basically it's a free counter spell if you have 4 lands. It's a poor man's Force of Will, you could say. Yeah, do we have anything else? I don't think. Oh yeah, untap, another poor man's Force of Will. Yeah, I think we want to add these cards here. Just to give him a few ways to untap his islands. So, oh snap. Great. You know, I love it when I have a card that's basically part of the name of 20 other cards. That always makes it so easy to search for the card. Rewind. Unwind. And Frantic Search. So come to think of it, if he is playing I mean, I would really like to add a High Tide here, but with just 10 islands, High Tide is not going to make it, right? Yeah, High Tide is just not going to make it, unfortunately. His mana base is too bad for it. If he had fetch lands and shock lands and so on, you could easily fit a High Tide. But that's just not given at the moment. Now, so let's go through what this deck actually wants to do. Basically, turn 1 it does nothing. Maybe it preordains or brainstorms or whatever's, but you really don't need to do this turn 1. Now, turn 2 you want to play a Mana Rock, right? Yes, you want to play a Mana Rock since you have no good other play, so we will add 3 more Mana Rocks. So we will add Talismans. So we want Talisman of Conviction, we already have one, Talisman of Creativity, and Talisman of Curiosity. No, not Curiosity, but Progress. So this should allow him to consistently... I'll just save this, because I learned from the past when I just deleted all my changes several times. So this will allow him to just easily play a Mana Rock on turn 2, I reckon. We probably remove the Mind Stone. Yeah, let's remove the Mind Stone. So this will allow him to play his commander on turn 3. Now on turn 4 he should have 5 mana and should start playing either spells or another outlet. So for 5 mana he's playing as many spells as he can. And one thing that I really want to add is, let's just remove, what do we remove? This one enters tapped, right? Yep. I really want to add a Karoo land here because of the new untap lands, and this what we want is the Atsurios Cancellery. Atsuri Shouns. Oh damn it, how is it written? Atsuri. Yeah, this one. Right. So the nice thing with this land is that it can generate 2 mana at once. So if you find a way to untap it, it's way better than just untapping a 1 mana land. Now, what else do I want to consider? I think he's playing a bit too much protection. Yeah, the Lofty Denial goes out. I mean, it really has to be faced quite a lot. So I'll probably leave the rest of it in. So at the moment we are adding cards for 30 euros, perfect. And we still need to take stuff out. So I think again, Velomach Lawhold for 7 mana, you don't want to play a creature that just generates advantages. That's not going to make it for you. Again, we probably... Yeah, this one is fine since you can cast multiple spells of it, but... yeah, this one just casts 1 spell each turn. That's not going to make it, and it doesn't even have haste. Oh, it has haste, okay. But it's still only casting 1 spell each turn. It's not doing it in a blue deck. Now, what I think we need... What do I actually think we need? That's a big question, right? Now, rather than Dual Strike, you will run to play Reverberate, right? Yes. Oh no, let's just go for something else. Let's just go for Copy Buyback, because this can be a win con on its own. Reiterate, right, this one. Reiterate. So Reiterate is another copy spell. It copies a spell, not only your spell, but also enemy spells, for 3 mana, so red, 1. The interesting thing with Reiterate is that it has buyback 3. So if you have enough mana, you can just buy it back to your hand. So if you happen to copy a spell that generates 6 mana, you basically can copy the 6 mana generating spell an infinite amount of times. If you have the mana open. So this one is part of quite a lot of infinite combos in Spellslinger decks, and it's also just strong. I mean, if you have 6 mana open, you don't have anything to do with your mana, someone else plays a ramp spell, bam, you just copy that ramp spell. Someone else plays a big draw spell, your hand is empty, bam, you copy the draw spell and also get Reiterate back. So we'll add it here. Okay. Now, we still only have 3 copy spells, so copy is probably not going to make it. And I don't really like Jeskar's will. We'd rather play something else that generates a ton of mana, and he doesn't have the land base for it. Sad as it is. I also think we want to get Approach of the Second Sun out, right? Yeah, that's not going to do it. Too expensive, doesn't do enough. Especially not if enemies can do anything to your library or you shuffle your library yourself. So, this one is also out. Search your library for an instant sorcery card, reveal it. Okay, so this one, I'll leave it in, since it will allow you to get the board wipes if you need them, and we don't play that many board wipes. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'll leave it in for now. I think it's way too slow and you'd rather play a Mystical Tutor, but that may be just me. Now let me have a look at my mana curve. So I added... Oh yeah, well, we wanted a Time War card, right? Extra turn commander. So since we'll have a full graveyard, I'll probably go for drums. Yeah, I would like to go for time stretch, but again, is time stretch actually time stretch? Is this one on the reserved list? No, apparently not, but hasn't been reprinted. Also didn't get expensive. No one likes to take 2 turns in a row. Much too much. Here, Temporal Trespass. This was the one I was searching for. So yeah, this one should be quite easy for him to copy and also to tutor from. And 8 cards in his graveyard should be something that he can fulfill. So let's go with Temporal Trespass. If it's not too expensive. We'll add it to maybe. Another thing that we want to go to is Epic Experiment. So since he has quite a lot of, basically Epic Experiment breeds red, blue, X. Exile the top X cards of your library. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value X or less from among them without paying their mana cost. So I would have to have an idea. Can I filter for card type here? No. How many sorceries and instants we are actually running? I think it was 30 before, so I removed... Yeah, I'd say around half of the cards I removed are instant sorceries, and maybe not. Maybe not. We are playing too many counter spells. Let's remove this. This one is not worth it in this deck. Now again, what we are desperately missing to make this more consistent is, I think, a way to draw cards. Now, let's save this for now. And just put it here. Okay, let's put this one here. So now, let's make a copy. And continue working with the copy, since I will leave this one here in case anything happens. So for the copy, we will just remove the cards that we already wanted to remove. We'll just leave 1 card here. So the category doesn't vanish, because I have no idea how to get the category back later. So now we'll have some new cards. Board wipe. We have more counter spells, which will probably allow us to cut other counter spells. So we have Unwind and Rewind, and this will allow us to cut Negate, and this will in turn allow us to cut, damn it. Okay, let's add Negate again. Negate. Out. Okay, so we can basically cut Negate, and I think we can cut Emerge Unscathed. Okay, what else did we add? We added Treasure Cruise, so this one is card draw. We added Tesserat's Gambit for more card draw. We added another token generator. Unfortunately not ghost tokens, but still tokens. And here, cast trigger. We added a lot more talismans to get them in the game quicker. We added a Skull Clamp. We added a Sentinel Tower as an alternative win con. We added a Snap as ramp. We added Reiterate as copy. There we go. We added Rapid Hybridization as removal. We added Ponder as another card draw spell. That is cheap. We added this one as another removal, another cheap card draw spell, another ramp spell, another ramp spell. We also added Blasphemous Act as a second board wipe copy. And we added these signets and this land. We're currently at 106 cards and we have 7 cards in a maybe slot, so we are off quite well for the moment. Now, we have 9 card draw cards, although 3 of them are cantrips, so we are basically at 6 card draw cards. 3 of who are permanent, so we are basically at 3 card draw cards, and that's not really good. Now, let's see. For ramp, we have... I guess you want to keep the spell satchel. We really don't want to keep the spell satchel. Let's get this one out. We don't need this one. Okay. I also reckon we really don't want to play 3 mana to Ghostly Prisoner Propaganda. This just doesn't help our game plan at all. Now we do want Katar's Crusade since we are leaving heavily on the token seam. And I think we also want Viron Voice of Duality, since this one is supporting what we're actually doing. Yeah, let's just put us to win con. Now, Temporal Trespass, we don't have enough copy. Skull Clamp, why is this on maybe and not draw? Now, how many cards do we have? 105, so we need to take 2 cards out. Okay. So what else do we have? We have Baral, who is too expensive, even if he's great since he's reducing our costs. We have Anointed Possession, too expensive, and we have Jeskai Ascendancy, which is just great, but again, too expensive and also not actually drawing us cards. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at a CMC. So we have most of our cards in the 1 to 4 CMC area, which is exactly where we want them. Now, what else can we use to cheat on costs? So we are still missing 3 cards, right? Right. Yeah, we have 3 and out. No, wait, we are missing 1. No, wait, we have 5 and out, so we are missing 3 cards, right. So, I also don't really think Solve the Equation as a good tutor, but okay, we'll leave it with Solve the Equation. Now, what else? I mean, let's just take Brainstorm back in. I don't really... Okay, when is what actually synergizes with Brainstorm? I don't think Brainstorm is any good in this deck. Brainstorm just straight up sucks. Okay, no, Brainstorm is just bad. You just lock yourself into your next cards. This is not what Brainstorm aims to do. We already did add a Ponder. So a reason why I say Brainstorm is bad, Brainstorm is a really good card, but the power from Brainstorm comes from putting 2 of your cards back on your deck and then getting rid of them by shuffling your deck. And he doesn't have any deck shuffling effect. So basically, if he, let's say his mana screwed, he brainstorms, sees there are 2 times no lands, he just puts 2 non-land cards there and he knows, okay, I'm out for the next 3 turns. So that's why Brainstorm is not really what he wants to play. Notion Thief would be great if he hadn't Black Enemy. Esper Sentinel would be great if it wouldn't be way over budget. Oh, Locust God would also be quite nice, But then again, it's just 1/1s for a 6. But he's recursive, so yeah. Oh, we could go for another cost reduction, I think, too. Well, I don't think he needs it. Yes. Most of his spells are cheap anyways, so he shouldn't need more cost reduction. What do we want to add? Limdul's Ward, another super overpowered spell that... Oh, people started to actually play it. Does it cost money now? Limdul's... I thought this wasn't really played outside of... Lim... So I only saw it in the fringe. Oh yeah, it got expensive. Not really expensive, but it's more than the few cents that I paid for it. So basically, if you don't know this card, it's for 2 mana. You look at the top 5 cards of your library, and then you may either put them back in any way order you want, or you can pay 1 life, put the 5 cards on the bottom of your library, take the next 5 cards. If you don't like them, pay 1 life, put them on the bottom of the library, take the next 5 cards, and so on. So it's basically a tutor that sets up the next 5 parts of your library, but it's black, so not interesting here. But a great card for any deck that cares about the top of its library. Time Warp would be a great card, but too expensive, I reckon. Okay, so basically we just need some cheap cards. Oh, I know one nice card. Storm. Let's add an actual Storm card here. And let's make... Oh wait, it's not really worth it though. We don't add an actual Storm card here. I just thought about adding the... Where is it? Oh, it's not here. Storm top deck. Yeah, here, Mind's Desire. I just thought about adding this one. Shuffle your library, exile the top card of your library until end of turn. You may play that card without paying its mana cost. Don't really see it in this. Yeah, it's not supporting what his deck wants to do. Let's just save this for now. So, what do we have? 102 cards still, and still 5 that we want to take out. Great. What do we want to add? What do we want to add? We can take Serum Visions back here. Still don't like it. No, we don't take Serum Visions back here. We could add Faceless Looting. This could actually be quite nice. Since you can play it 2 times, basically the first time is free, the second time is giving you more cast triggers. Yeah, Flashback could be a good idea. So yeah, I think we had a Faceless Looting here. Faceless Looting really can get you out of some trouble. So let's put this to card draw. It's not card draw, I know, it's just cycling, but let's just put it to... Oh no, wait, let it put to... Add. We need another add category. I think we also want one or more 2 windfall effects, maybe a wheel effect. I mean, we are playing red and blue, so we should be able to get another wheel effect or 2 just to refill our hand. Now, we probably won't be getting Wheel of Fortune since it's, I think, 60 euros. So that probably will be out of budget. We could add the cheap version, Magus of the Wheel. Let me have a look here. Yeah, that's fine. What else? What else? We already did a Chaos Warp. What can we do to make the deck more consistent without paying any money? The without paying any money part is the hard part, in case you didn't notice. Because most of the cards that I want to add are just way too expensive. I mean, a Vandal Blast, but no idea if this matter has any issues. Okay, Reforge the Soul is 12 euros. Okay, he's American, so I probably have to pay. Winds of Change is 20 euro. Wow. Oh yeah, we could play Past in Flames, right? This one is just €2. Let's just put another Past in Flames in here. Basically as a backup to Mythic's Mastery. Yeah, let's put a Past in Flames in here. Now we still need to add one card. What one card do we want to add? I mean, I could see Isochron Scepter, to be honest. It's a fun card. He does have a lot of 1 mana and 2 mana spells, even ones that you want to copy. Let's see. What do you want to copy? So basically, he could copy a copy spell, which would be interesting. But so he could also copy a counter spell. He could copy a Boros Charm to make his stuff indestructible or to deal 4 damage. He could also copy a draw spell like a Texian Probe or Ponder or Preordain. He could also copy a Snap to untap 2 lands. He could copy some removal spells of the cheap ones. Maybe not. Maybe not going to make it. Not enough targets for it. Oh, mine to just let him play even Mind Sensor, but it's not what his deck is about. But even Mind Sensor is always a great card. Flash. If your opponent would search his library, he searches the top 4 cards instead, which probably won't have what he's searching for. And this also applies to green mana ramp, obviously. But still. One more card that we may add. One more card. I mean, I'm almost thinking Serum Versions. Just to give him another cheap card draw that allows him to filter through his deck if he has that much issue with. Or maybe Sevian's Reclamation. Target permanent with converted mana costs 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, these are most of his permanents, to be honest, right? Wrong. Okay, wrong. I think a Mystic Retrieval is going to do it. Just to allow him to get some cards back from his graveyard. And that should be it. Right, we have 105 cards. We have 5 cards to take out. And now let's write him a summary. Now, since I will be writing quite a lot now, you are free to read what I write, but I won't probably be able to read it all out aloud for you. So I hope that's fine for you. So let's first see, what did I take out? I will need the original. Now let's just first of all give him an overlook. Let's just give him overlook. Let's just give him overlook of why I removed stuff that I removed. Dual strike was now what else did I remove? Oh, right, we could have kept opt. Opt was not that bad. Okay, what else did we take out? Polymorph. Same for Transmogrifier, yeah. Prismatic Lens is just same like Mindstone and Prismatic Lens. So Treacherous Greed was just also no synergy. Twinning Staff, your most expensive sorcery is so these are all the cards. Oh no, those are not all the cards that I took out, but there are some more. Okay, so we also had the Polymorph Revitalize. Here, this one. Emerge unscathed. Negate better counter spells, and this one is also the spell set shell. Mindstone, Prismatic Lens. Okay, so this one's, and now we have Ghostly Prison Propaganda. Ist das richtig? To any target, ja, doubles is removal. Okay, ja. So. Was haben wir sonst noch alles hinzugefügt? Rewind, free-ish counter spells. Sorry if I'm just not talking so much as long as I'm writing. It's just complicated to talk and write at the same time. So basically you want to play mana to play your commander on turn 3 and start. Okay, so what else did we add here? We had snap. During that untaps lands. Now what else did we add? Skull Clamp, which is just now what else did we add? Reiterate. Rapid hybridization, better removal. Also Pass of Exile. Pass to Exile, obviously. Now we have Ponder and Gitaxian Probe. Better cantrips. Now what else did we add? Felwar Stone already put us one in. Azorius Chancery. Now, what else did we add? Blasphemous Act and Austeromant. And now, what else did we add? We also added a Past in Flames. No, what do I want to tell him? What else do I want to tell him about his deck? Oh wait, I forgot one thing. Untap all lands. Not dramatic reversal, there's another one, Turn Boot. I should probably have added Turn Boot here, right? Yeah, I should have added Turn Boot here. So, that's the first suggestion for the future. Now, what else do I want to recommend to him? Is this all, or is there anything else that I want to recommend? Let me just have a quick look at it. Card market. Turn a boot. Turn a boot. Oh, this is not what I... Turn a boot? Okay. Wow. No reprints and still so... Why is this one so cheap? Wow, I'll just instantly add it to the deck. Let's go to this deck again. Let me just add Turn a Boot to the deck. So what do we take out for Turn a Boot? Probably Faceless Looting. And where's out? And we will just put Turn a Boot in here because untapping all of your lands for 4 mana, possibly less, is just good. It's just a strong mana ramp. Or, yeah, just a strong mana ritual. So, what was his name? Nice Mills. So, to my viewers, do you have any questions or suggestions to what I just have done with this deck, or are you just lurking, which is totally fine if you do. So, I will be AFK for a second and we'll be right back. So I just had a look at a clock and realized that this took way longer than expected. So I will leave this be for tonight. And yeah, I will probably do another deck or two tomorrow. So have a good night's rest. And I will really need to head to bed now since it's 3 o'clock in the night here. Bye!